What happens when the line between hunter and prey completely disappears? This is the story of a digital hall of mirrors, where the FBI agent and the hacker he was chasing became partners. And the greatest crime wasn't theft of data, but a corruption of trust. It's a warning about what happens when we ask criminals to be cops, and forget that the most dangerous vulnerabilities are never in the code, but in the human heart. The Poison Chalice. February 10th, 2005, 8:14 a.m. FBI Headquarters, Washington, D.C. Special Agent Eva Rostova sipped her bitter coffee. The first email of the day loading on her secure terminal. The subject line was blank. The sender was an encrypted, anonymous relay. With a sense of mundane dread, she opened the attachment. Her coffee cup froze halfway to her lips. She wasn't looking at a threat. She was looking at a mirror, a reflection of the FBI's own soul, stolen and held up for ridicule. It was an 11-page dossier. Page 1. The real names and locations of every active undercover informant in their cyber division. Page 3. A spreadsheet of ongoing investigations with columns for primary target, evidence status, and a chilling final header. Predicted conviction probability. Page 7 was a list of every hacker the FBI had flipped, their cooperation status highlighted in traffic light colors. Green for fully cooperative, yellow for hesitant, red for requires pressure. The header on every page screamed in bold, all caps font. For internal eyes only. Do not transmit via unsecured channels. The coffee cup clattered into the trash can. Eva's hands trembled. This wasn't a breach. It was a vivisection. Someone had reached into the bureau's chest, pulled out its still beating heart, and emailed it back to them. And the signature, the taunting, digital fingerprint left at the scene of the crime, pointed to a ghost the FBI itself had created. The asset, 2 years earlier, JFK Airport, New York. The kid looked like he'd just walked out of a computer science lab. Wire-rimmed glasses, a nervous laugh that cracked at the edges, clothes that were a size too large. Maxim Popov, 20 years old, from the frozen streets of Donetsk, Ukraine, believed he was stepping into the American dream. For 4 months, he'd been negotiating with friendly, smiling FBI agents in London. Give us your knowledge of Eastern European hacking rings. They'd said over pints of warm beer. In return, we'll give you a new identity, a legitimate job, a life. They were lies, expertly crafted. The moment his worn sneakers touched the grimy terminal floor, the smiles vanished. The friendly agent who'd clapped him on the back in a London pub now snapped cold steel handcuffs around his wrists. Maxim Popov, you're under arrest for computer fraud, wire fraud, and conspiracy. The promised visa was an arrest warrant. The welcome party was an isolation cell. A federal prosecutor slid a single sheet of paper through the food slot. The choice was simple. Cooperation or 30 years in American prison he'd only seen in movies. No salary, no startup, just digital slavery with a badge. But the FBI had missed a crucial detail. In their eagerness to bag a prize asset, they had taught their new prisoner the most valuable lesson in cybercrime. If the good guys lie this well, what else are they capable of? The Handler. Summer 2002. Quantico, Virginia. Special Agent E.J. Hilbert watched the Popov file land on his desk with a thud. He saw what his colleagues didn't. A disaster in the making. Their new informant had been secretly warning his old crew in street Russian, telling them dismantle. Uncle Sam is watching. For 3 months, he burned every investigation he touched. The FBI star informant was a double agent from day one. Where others saw liability, Hilbert saw a diamond in the rough. You don't catch a wolf with a sheepdog. You need a wolf of your own. He booked a red-eye to the Virginia safe house where Popov was being held. The kid was sullen, defiant. They promised me a life. Popov spat, not looking at him. I'm not them, Hilbert said, placing a bag of fresh bagels on the table. I'm offering you a deal, a real one. Help me take down Shadow Market, and you walk. For good. Shadow Market was the Amazon of stolen identities. Credit cards for $1, social security numbers for $5. It was a digital fortress, and Hilbert needed a Trojan horse. Popov would be that horse. The operation was dubbed Ant City, A relentless, collective effort to dismantle a hive. The rules were simple. Popov would pose as a major Ukrainian buyer. The FBI would give him a $50,000 budget. Every purchase of stolen data was a trap. When a criminal shipped goods to an FBI-controlled P.O. box, they'd commit a federal crime on American soil. It was a brilliant plan, and it was about to forge the most dangerous partnership in the history of the Bureau. The Bond. Thanksgiving Day, 2002. Popov sat in a sterile FBI conference room. The world outside celebrating. He was an asset, a tool, a non-person. The door opened. Hilbert walked in, carrying a full Thanksgiving feast. Turkey, stuffing, cranberry sauce, even a pumpkin pie. Then he did something unprecedented. He wheeled a projector and put on The Lord of the Rings. For 3 hours, they didn't talk about cases or criminals. They talked about hobbits and wizards. They ate pie. In that moment, Hilbert wasn't a handler. He was a friend. For Popov, a boy who had known only betrayal and transactional relationships, it was a seismic shift. Someone saw him, not just his utility. That night, he made a decision. He would help Hilbert catch Script, the elusive co-founder of Shadow Market. For 6 weeks, Popov built a relationship with Script, posing as a well-connected Ukrainian middleman. The payoff came in a small package wrapped in Ukrainian newspaper, 200 freshly stolen credit cards. Inside was a handwritten note from Script, a fatal, arrogant mistake. Hilbert ran the handwriting through international databases. A match, Roman Vega, Odessa, Ukraine. 6 months later, Ukrainian police arrested Vega at dawn. The message echoed through the dark web. Nobody was safe. Operation Ant City was a stunning success, preventing an estimated $70 million in fraud. But success is a cost. Hilbert had asked a dangerous question. Can you turn a criminal into a hero without them remembering they're still a criminal? He was about to get his answer. The unraveling. April 15, 2003. A federal courthouse. A judge reviewed Popov's file. 8 months of unparalleled undercover work. The sentence. Time served. Popov walked out of the courtroom a free man. The FBI gave him a stipend and an apartment in California. They believed the cage door was still shut. They were wrong. You can't cage someone who has learned to pick every lock. The question was no longer if Popov would revert, but how, and how spectacular it would be. New Year's Eve, 2004, 11:47 p.m. Hilbert's phone rang, the noise cutting through a quiet celebration with his family. Check your email. Popov's voice was tense. The FBI just got hacked. The email contained an 11-page dossier. The Bureau was in panic mode. How? The breach was through an obscure, forgotten networking protocol called X25, a system from 1976 that nobody had bothered to update. Popov had the solution. For a $10,000 consulting fee paid to his new company, PsyOps, he identified the hacker, a Russian named Leonid Sokolov. He even arranged an introduction. Hilbert went undercover in a chat room, and within minutes, Sokolov was bragging, confessing to everything. It was clean, too clean. The confession was effortless, the resolution swift. The FBI, desperate, paid Popov and issued him a formal letter of commendation. They had just paid the fox to fix the hole in the henhouse fence. The betrayal. February 10th, 2005, the same morning from the prologue. The call Hilbert had been dreading came. It was the director. My office. Now. 5 stern faces waited for him. A prosecutor's voice crackled over the speakerphone. Who is Dennis Penhouse? Hilbert's blood ran cold. It was an alias Popov used. Under that name, the prosecutor continued. He contacted EMC Corporation. They had a breach. Their VMware source code, worth $500 million, was stolen. Popov offered to help contain the breach. EMC heard it as extortion. Pay up or the code goes public. They saw a protection racket. Hilbert saw the truth. Popov had never stopped being a criminal. He had simply found more profitable clientele. The FBI itself. Give us his real name, the prosecutor demanded. Hilbert was trapped. Expose Popov and burn every case he'd ever worked. including the one that just saved the Bureau. Protect him and become an accomplice. No, Hilbert said, the word echoing in the silent room. He's a protected, active asset. The word active was a technical truth that felt like a moral lie. The blade fell swiftly. Hilbert was placed under investigation for conspiracy, wire fraud, and obstruction of justice. His computer was seized. His colleagues avoided him. The hero of Operation Ant City was now a pariah. The final blow was a quiet meeting with his supervisor. The promotion he'd worked a decade for was denied. The reason? Pending investigation. He looked at the family photo on his desk, at his daughter's smiling face. He couldn't let the shadow fall on them. He placed his badge and his gun on his supervisor's desk. Badge number 4982, Glock 23. Serial number RKK 291. 15 years of service, ended by the wolf he'd tried to tame. The lesson in the code. 2012. A private security firm, San Francisco. Hilbert's phone rang. A Ukrainian number. I wanted to thank you, the voice said. It was Popov, older, calmer. For the Thanksgiving dinner. For the movie. You were the only friend I had. They talked for an hour. Popov had a family. He claimed he was legitimate. He was sorry for what happened. Then the final, calculated twist of the knife. You know I was the one who hacked the FBI, right? Popov said, almost casually. Leonid Sokolov and I did it together. We used the X25 flaw. I sold you the solution to my own crime. He confessed because I paid him to. The silence on Hilbert's end was a void. The entire thing, the breach, the panic, the investigation, the heroic save, was a meticulously staged performance. Popov had been the playwright, director, and star. The FBI had paid the hacker who robbed him to catch himself, and then they destroyed the one agent who saw the truth. Were you suspicious? Popov asked. Sometimes, Hilbert admitted, his voice hollow. But I wanted to believe you'd changed. I never changed, Popov replied. Then he added, with a sincerity that was more terrifying than any lie. But who cares? I still love you. In that moment, Hilbert understood the final, horrifying lesson. For Maxim Popov, love and betrayal were not opposites. They were tools in the same kit. He genuinely cared for Hilbert, even as he systematically destroyed him. The con wasn't just a profession. It was his nature. The FBI buried Operation Ant City. Officially, it was a success. Unofficially, it's a warning etched into the Bureau's digital soul. The digital detective lesson. This story isn't about a hacker. It's about a fundamental flaw in our approach to digital crime. We believe that because we understand the technology, we understand the human using it. We think we can control a weapon just because we hold a handle. But the keyboard is neutral. The same skills that secure a network can dismantle it. The real vulnerability isn't in the code. It's in the space between trust and naivete. When we recruit from the shadows to fight the shadows, we must remember, the greatest threat isn't the enemy outside the gates. It's the one you invited into your command center, gave a map to the armory, and called a friend. The line between hunter and prey isn't a wall. It's a password. And sometimes, the person you trust most is the one who already stole it. Digital Detective presents stories to educate, inspire critical thinking, and highlight the power of technology in uncovering truth. Always verify facts and report wrongdoing through official channels. Please like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more content like this. Thank you.